we are to appoint somebody on short notice, because this is very short notice, 2 weeks till we play Benin Republic.
The only man that can do it on short notice is still have Renard.
So away from club football, it's time to talk about our dear Super Eagles. It's just about 2 weeks until they begin their Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers ahead of the 2025 tournament in Morocco. But there is a major talking point surrounding the Super Eagles, and it's the fact that up until now, we are without a head coach. Up since Finidi George left his role, and that role has been vacant.
Left his role?
He left his role. That's how I like to say it. He left his role. All
right, let's leave it at that.
He left his role, and that role has since been vacant. And now we are heading into a qualification for a major tournament, and we are without a manager. But there are talks that a certain Swede by Janne Anderson is the leading candidate to be named the next Super Eagles manager. And for those who don't know much about him, I'll just be reading out his profile so you can have a head start or a heads up about who he is. Born Jan Olof Anderson on 29 September 1962, the leading candidate to be named the Super Eagles Gaffer is a 36-year veteran of football management. He's a student of the Roy Hodgson School, which means he prefers a defensively compact 4-4-2 formation in which every member of the team presses, attacks, and defends as a unit. He most recently managed the Sweden national team, a stint that lasted for 7 years between 2016 and 2023. He stepped down after failing to lead Sweden to the 2022 FIFA World Cup. He's friends with Lars Lagerbäck, who managed the Sweden national team and also the Super Eagles in 2010. Okay, that's not bad for a CV so far. But after all I've read so far and what you know about this guy, IBK, does this manager or our potential manager, does he inspire confidence in you?
One thing I can assure is that the Super Eagles job is not be cho.
You have to show
all this on they read out. You guys show workings. I remember when we appointed Ose Pesero. That was 2 years back or thereabout. You know, it was as if everything was going to be fine. To be honest, I think he tried his best. Getting us to the final of the AFCON.
You can't ask for more.
Now, the thing I like about foreign managers is that they have a style of play. They have what they believe in, and I don't know what Anderson is going to bring to the table for Nigeria. You mentioned, tactics he uses, but it's a different ball game when you're playing the national team and also the African terrain. How well is he conversant with the African setup? And I always say that there is a reason, Genoro has been the longest serving manager for the Super Eagles in recent years. That's because this man understands the African terrain. I think he coached in Nigerian Republic at some point. This is, and what is Anderson bringing to the table? Yes, he got to the quarterfinals of the 2020 World Cup.
He also won the Alice Vescan.
He also won that, but like I said, the Super Eagles job is a different ball game.
Yeah.
I would have preferred a manager who understands the African setup. Don't forget, we'll be playing against a manager who knows Nigeria in and out. You get, we are playing against Benin Republic. They defeated us at the World Cup qualifiers. And you want to say maybe it's because he was Finidi George, but any manager would have struggled against Genaro because, like I said, he's the manager that has spent over close to 5 years or more than 5 years with the Super Eagles. So if you are bringing in someone for the job, you have to bring in the best because you'll be paying dollars, you'll be paying them in dollars, and that to whom much is given, much is expected. So I don't trust him, to be honest. I don't trust whatever stats you've read. I don't trust him. Maybe when he starts, we'll see what he can do. But I would have preferred a manager who understands the African terrain, who has coached an African team before, and who has done it over and over again.
Okay, so coincidentally or not, many Nigerians out there seem to share your sentiment about, going with a manager that already knows, about the African terrain, that is familiar with some of the Super Eagles players and all. And so many fans have been suggesting that we should look to guys like Manuel Amuneke, Samson Siasia, and co. So now you are saying you don't trust Janne Anderson. Who do you trust at the moment to, if we are to appoint somebody on short notice, because this is very short notice, 2 weeks till we play Benin Republic.
The only man that can do it on short notice is still have Renard. It might be the Ferrari. It might be the Ferrari of the coaches, the Lamborghini of the coaches.
We need to look at
be realistic, right?
Is it affordable for us?
We are hearing that his asking price is $150,000.
I don't think we can afford
every
that.
month, and the highest we can pay.
Owing all our coaches.
The highest we can pay a coach right now is about $40,000 to $45,000 every month. If you have to go for an indigenous coach, Amunike is a very good option. I think it was with Tanzania at some point. I think Amunike will be the best option.
Yeah, Amunike, he also knows some of the players. He has played with them.
He's familiar with them, yeah. So I think it will be the best option for me.
It's the best option for you. So is it the best option for you, like, just to lead them to the qualifiers or to be appointed on a long-term contract?
That was what we did with Finidi. Yeah. We started with just go and coach 2 games. And Baba show us love. By the time we give one contract, now love no day again. So I think we should be specific. Let's just eat the bullseye straight on. Give a coach a contract. I think 1 year contract is good enough.
Yeah, that's what they're actually proposing to Anderson. So I don't think it's a bad one.
I think a year contract would do, but I still don't trust Anderson. I'll pick Amunike over Anderson.
Fair enough, but let's assume that they go on to stick with their decision and they make Anderson the coach. What do you think should be the first decision he has to make ahead of the upcoming qualifiers?
Don't forget there's an offer before from Victor Osimhen, and I think that's the first thing he needs to address.
That's an elephant in the room.
That's the first thing he needs to address. He needs to make Osimhen knows that he's part of the team, and he needs to make Osimhen knows that he's the most popular player in the squad. Yes, he might have done something very funny, but we are humans after all. And again, what he has to do is invite the necessary players who are informed, players who understands the Super Eagles setup very well. And I think if we should do that, we should be able to get a result at home against Benin Republic.
And on a tactical note, so this guy is a 4-4-2 manager. He's a very pragmatic manager. He likes the traditional approach. If he's going to take over the reins of the Super Eagles, do you think the 4-4-2 system will work? Maybe with Osimhen and Boniface up front. Do you think it can work? The
last time we used a 2 striker up front, I think we won the AFCON, and that was with late Stephen Keshi, when he had Emenike and also Brownie there.
Yeah.
They combined and they were able to bring Nigeria the silverware. So we might go back to that, because in the end, Boniface is more of a striker who complements a normal top 9. So I think we have Osimhen firing on the defense while Boniface tries to do up play and link up play. That might be perfect, but you don't make test run in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
That should be in a friendly match. So I don't know how it's going to do, but test running in the qualifiers might be too risky. So you might just go with what you've been seeing before with the national team.
Fair enough, that makes sense. And just on the final note here, Nigeria taking on Benin Republic at Uyo. Home crowd, but in front of our own crowd. What are your early betting predictions?
Nigeria's best ground so far so good has to be Uyo. I was there in 2018. I was there some years back, and I can tell you for free that they are a sport-loving state as well. The governor and everyone involved always support the Super Eagles of Nigeria. What we should get there, Nigeria is definitely not losing in Uyo. It's not possible. I think a win or a draw for the Super Eagles of Nigeria against Benin Republic.
That's safe. Now give us a bold one. Slightly bold one.
A bold one.
Yeah.
I think Nigeria should score 2 goals.
That's a bold one.
Yeah.
That's a bold one.
Nigeria should score 2 goals.
I'm going to say Ademola Lookman to score.
Well, anytime goal scorer, my workout.
And that's all we have time for you in this video. The countdown continues. Less than 2 weeks until the Super Eagles begin their Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. We are hoping the Super Eagles get that on a winning note, and we are hoping whoever they appoint, whether it is Janne Anderson, whether it is Amunike, whether it is Siasia, let's just hope the Super Eagles get to a winning note. Once again, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who should lead the Super Eagles, and what are your predictions ahead of that game? If Janne Anderson is not the right choice for the Super Eagles, then who is the manager to lead us back to glory? We are looking to hear from you in the comment section below. Until we come your way next time on All Things Super Eagles, it's a bye from myself and IBK Sports. Stay cool.